Hello, I'm Johan, and I will be presenting on the topic of schema building collaboration. First, the textbook we chose is Chanja Education's High School Common English 1, aimed at first year high school intermediate students. We assume that the students have individual digital devices, and we selected lesson 3, Journey into Another Culture, which is a travel-related unit. At the end of the unit, there's an activity where students choose one of the 5 countries where they can see the northern lights and plan a trip. We aim to make this activity more interesting and practical. The class will be divided into 5 groups, with each group responsible for each country. This task is to plan an hour trip to that country and write a persuasive travel introduction to present the package. So, what this lesson is about. This objective of this activity are: first, to explore and use context-appropriate expressions to clearly convey opinions and emotions. Second, to research travel destination information, summarize it, and finally convey it to others. Third, to design a travel package considering cultural backgrounds and develop an attitude that embraces diverse perspectives. These are the 3 main goals, and when linking these objectives to the 2022 currently revised curriculum, we see that the achievement standards are aligned as follows. First, in the process of searching for travel information and building schemas, the comprehension and area achievement standards will be achieved. Additionally, by planning the travel package and writing the travel introduction, we expect the expression achievement standards to be met. So, here's the procedures that the activity will follow. As mentioned earlier, the class will be divided into 5 groups, with each group responsible for 1 country each. The teacher will provide about 7 reliable travel information for each country. The students will also use ChatGPT to find persuasive expressions for their travel information and introduction to attract tourists and incorporate them into their writing. After writing the introduction, the students will have it edited by ChatGPT and then revise it based on feedback from both their group members and from their teachers. Once the travel introductions are ready, each group will use a tool called Padlet Sandbox to create 1 slide per group. Each slide should include the travel package title, cost, at least 2 photos, and at least 2 reasons for recommending the destination. The evaluation will include a peer evaluation and also self-evaluation for self-checking. For peer evaluation, students will use the sticker feature on Padlet to place a sticker on the destination they like the most. Okay, now I'll start the teaching demonstration. Hello everyone, did you have a nice weekend? Now, we have to start. Now, do you remember what we've been working on recently? We looked at travel destinations in the Netherlands on the reading section last week, and we also worked on a simple activity. So, my dream travel destination, where you wrote about places you want to visit, right? Now, let's expand more and do a great activity. So, let's read the learning objectives together. Okay, the first one first. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. First, explore and use appropriate expressions to clearly convey their opinions and feelings in context. Good. You'll have time today to explore and use expressions on your own. Now, we will go on to the second one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Research and summarize travel destination information to convey it to others. Okay, you guys have a good voice. You will also be researching information on travel destinations today. And now to the last one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Design a travel package considering cultural backgrounds and develop an attitude that embraces diverse perspectives. So, today we are going to create a presentation about a travel package. Sounds fun, right? So it says writing a travel package information here. Now, turn to page 73 on your textbook, please. So you were asked to read this section last time, right? There are 3 different travel topics here. One is about Haenyeo of Jeju Island, South Korea. The second one is about the Northern Lights. And the last one is about Prince Edward Island in Canada. Have you guys all read it right? I believe that you did. So the second topic introduces 5 countries where you can see the Northern Lights. So you know what Northern Lights are, do you? It's like simply called aurora. With this information, you're going to create a travel package presentation on Padlet. I know you're all familiar with Padlet, so you'll do great. I believe that you guys will. Now, I will briefly explain the activity. You're already sitting in groups of 4, like in the 5 sections, right? So I'll assign the countries that there will be 5 groups in total. So group 1, you guys will be Norway. Group 2, you guys will be Finland. Group 3, you guys will be Canada. Group 4, you guys will be Iceland. And group 5, you guys will be Sweden. So your task is to write a travel package introduction for your country, describing the best way to experience the Northern Lights, also called aurora, like I said before. So to do that specifically, you'll have to need to look up to relevant information to make that up. So I'll show you some websites to help you. Okay, so these are websites where you can find travel information for each country, as well as general travel information. Let me show you how to use them. Okay, so I'll show you guys while I am doing this. So for example, if you're looking for information about Norway, you can go to the visitnorway.com and search for Northern Lights in the search bar. You'll find a lot of information that way. So you can do the same for the other countries as well. If you want general information, you can also use lonelyplanet.com. Here, you can search for Northern Lights and look through the stories and articles related to it. This will show you the information for Iceland, Canada, Sweden, Norway, and Finland, which are countries that are allotted to you groups. And if you need any extra information, you can also ask ChatGPT as well, like this. So you can write sentence such as, tell me about travel experiences for Northern Lights in Finland. So you can ask ChatGPT questions and get more specific information. So moving on. Next, once you have the information, you'll need to write your introduction using persuasive expressions. You can highlight unique expressions or rare natural environments, or use expressions like need to, blah blah blah, or have to, blah blah blah, which suggests something you must do, which is also called persuasive expressions. So additionally, if you ask ChatGPT, it can suggest helpful expressions for persuasive writing. So for example, let's try it. Let's try asking ChatGPT for some persuasive phrases we can use in our travel descriptors. So you guys can try while I explain. So this will give you a lot of useful suggestions that you can include in your writing, which will make it more persuasive. Now that I've shown you how to find information, you can save time by splitting up the task. For example, Johan can search for travel information on visitnorway.com. Sehi can use lonelyplanet.com. Yuri and Hedin, on the other hand, can ask ChatGPT for helpful persuasive expressions, and then finally decide which ones are the best to use in the writing. Finally, so once everyone has written their drafts, they can check their sentences with ChatGPT to make sure there are no mistakes. Then you can discuss with your group whether it's okay to use the sentences as they are, or fix it if you need to. After that, you can share the final draft with me, and I'll give you feedback to make some improvements if there is one needed. So moving on. So you'll make your travel package presentations on Padlet Sandbox app. To access it, you have to scan this QR code in the front on the slide. So group 1, you'll be on slide 1, group 2, slide 2, group 3, slide 3, group 4, slide 4, and such as going on. Group 5, slide 5. Please make your presentations on the corresponding slide. Also, I've made an example on slide 6 that you can refer to. Here are the things that you must include in your presentation. So, the list are the package title, the cost, like how much it will cost, and at least 2 photos, at least 2, and 2 or more reasons why this package is recommended, and important details if possible. So a quick reminder, don't forget to include the sources for your photos. I'll show you an example on how it should look like when you guys are finished. So, looking at the example, you can see the title at the top, The Most Special Northern Lights, Canada. It's good to include something special in the title, like why it's unique, or what makes it stand out. You can use persuasive phrases you learned from ChatGPT when writing your sentences. Then, using the 2 photos, make sure to add the sources at the bottom, because you have to respect the source editor. And don't forget to include the cost. This is how you can create a professional looking travel package presentation. So once you're all finished on the package information, we'll do a presentation and evaluation. I'll explain more once we find finished activity. So activity is finished on assumed. So now you'll have 25 minutes to work now. This guide is available on Google Classroom, so you make sure to check it. Remember to include everything that is required. Off you go. So this is during the activity and I'm walking around the classroom if anything is needed. So I'm checking group 5 right now. So group 5, you're doing Sweden, right? You can use visitsweden.com and headshores.com or like another sources such as lonelyplanet.com. The rest of you make sure to ask ChatGPT for examples of persuasive phrases to include in your writing. Moving to group 4, make sure to allot like all of the motives, right? So time moves on and there are 10 minutes left right now. So I say 10 minutes left, everyone. Let me check group 4's work. You did well by highlighting the appealing points of your destination. So what you really need right now is just add up the cost part because you really have to be essential. And you will be good to go. Great job, group 4. Moving on. Group 1. I see that you focused on the diverse terrain and modes of transportation to go to that region. Let's just add some photo sources, right? Because I like the presentation to be more colorful and diverse. And I think that's all and it will be perfect. Keep it up. Time moves on and I say, time's up. If any group hasn't finished, please appoint one person to present your completed work. Let's hear from each group. So I see group 1, and I say, you used the question-based expressions to persuade, and you presented the itinerary and cost clearly. Well done. And let's see group 4's work. Oh, you guys did on Iceland. You did a great job, highlighting what to enjoy on the trip and the persuasive expression about not regretting the expression was very impactful. Nice work. So now we finished, and now we are going to do peer evaluation and self-evaluation both. So for peer evaluation, please use the Padlet sticker feature to mark the group you think that you did the best. For the self-evaluation, use the QR link to Google Forms and fill it out. So I see everyone's work and I see that everyone is adding stickers to show their appreciation for their peers' hard work. Great job, everyone. Let's give each other a big round of applause. So we have finished the general activity, and so I can see that the self-evaluations are also well done, and you guys did an excellent work. You all worked really hard today. So in our next class, we'll do a review quiz for lesson 3 and start lesson 4. So please review lesson 3 at home. So class start finished and you did a great job. Goodbye everyone.